What is going on? Today is Friday, and I've got a very special guest with me today. His name is Justin Rogers. His channel is a little one called Forever Self-Employed. My name is Mike Vadan, and I am all about pressure washing. We are also broadcasting live on the Quote IQ channel. If you're not subscribed to Quote IQ, go over there right now and click the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up and all those other cool things that you're supposed to do. What's going on, Justin?
Hey, you guys, Mike wanted to run the intro for today, so I want you guys to rate him out of 10 in the comment section. If you're watching this on the replay, rate him out of 10. So 0 to 10, 0 being, wow, that was absolutely terrible. 10 being still slightly worse than Justin's, but adequate. Okay, sweet. Mike, okay, we're handing it over now. We're going to welcome a couple of people in the chat. We got our boy Chandler with us. If you guys remember from a couple live streams ago, Chandler was struggling with passing out some cards. We gave him some advice. So, Chandler, we'd love an update on that. And then, of course, we got Payne's Pressure Washing in the house. What's up, guys? Payne's Pressure Washing. Chandler's giving your first score at 11. I think he's kissing a little butt. But, hey, who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are 10s in my book. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you, Tyler. We appreciate it, man. Mason says, hey, guys. In this video, you guys, we are going to be ranking pressure washing upsells starting from best to worst. A lot of these you guys probably already know if you've been in the game for a little while, but we're also going to kind of deep dive on each one. You know, has Mike offered it before? Have I offered it before? Is it something that we think you guys should offer? And then any advice that we can give towards each one, right? Because there's little idiosyncrasies with all the things that we offer in our business and things that, you know, you might not know about. You might be like, hey, I want to offer window cleaning, but you don't know that you need a water-fed pole or, you know, a deionizing or whatever it is. So anyway, we're going to jump right into it. Mike, first and foremost, before we get into it, what's your favorite upsell to offer on a pressure washing job?
My favorite upsell is roof washing. And I'll get into, you know, obviously the whoosies and the whatsies and the wheresies of all of it. But yeah, roof washing, it is one of the most profitable add-on services. And we'll dive into that one here in a second.
Okay, sweet. Before we jump into that, you guys know we always have to make you aware of a couple different things. First and foremost, if you need a way to send estimates, invoices, or collect payments, be sure to check out Quote IQ. You can get it for free on the App Store and Google Play Store, or you can try any tier for $1 right now at myquoteiq.com. We're actually doing something different that no one else has ever done before. We have a lifetime deal right now that we have a couple slots for. If you guys are interested in getting a lifetime deal, never having to pay another fee, again, a monthly fee, you can reach out to us through email or other means and ask us about it. But yeah, me and Mike wanted to be different, right, Mike? We don't want to do what everybody else does.
I really like being different, Justin.
Yeah. And of course, who doesn't like, you know, I don't like monthly bills every single month. So I was like, you know what? Let's offer a lifetime deal. If you guys want to take advantage of it, you can. It comes with a couple other little extra perks. So that's something that we got. So anyway, myquoteiq.com, it'll be linked up in the comment section description. This is the inside of it. I mean, come on. If you're not keeping track of these numbers in your business, what are you doing? You need to be keeping track of your profit and loss, your year-to-date sales, your sales by service, your average ticket prices, all your expenses, your lead sources, your close ratios, and we have everything right here for you.
Okay,
everything
and leave this up, Justin.
I will. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, this is a great topic that we're talking about today, the best upsells for your business, right? And the reason that there are good upsells, or the, you know, why we even push, is to do what? Increase our average ticket price, increase the lifetime value of that customer, and just make more money, right? The more that you can do at any one person's house, the more money you're going to make, the more efficient you are. So always be pushing upsells. And how do you determine where your time and energy should be spent and what upsells you should actually go after? Okay, this is obviously a dummy account here, but all of these numbers, all of the data will tell you exactly what you need to push, right? So for an example, what are the big sales by service here? Probably, you know, house wash is number one. And I would say that for most exterior cleaning businesses, that's going to be your main one, right? If we were to pull up my Quote IQ account, I would have house wash as number one. In very close second is roof washing. And roof washing is a very close second because I have drilled down super hard. I pushed the hell out of roof washing as far as my advertising goes, my marketing efforts are. And the reason why is because I take the data and I use the data to make intelligent decisions. I can look at, say, what is the most profitable? And this is actually one of the things that we're adding on probably next week. There's going to be another graph in here, and it's average ticket price per service. So then you can list them all out just like it is here: house, concrete, roof wash, and it will tell you what your average ticket price is. I did this a long time ago, and I saw that roof washing was the highest ticket service that we provided. And so what do I do then? I'm like, okay, if that's the highest one, like that's what we need to focus on. That should be talked about with every single customer in every marketing piece in all of our advertising. We need to drill down on our GMB, on our Facebook ads, all of the things where we can get that service in front of more people, right? Because at the end of the day, that service is going to make you a shit ton more money than everything else. So knowing your numbers is going to allow you to know which services you should really focus in on.
Right. And then, of course, from these kind of graphs here, you guys can see how heavy we're leaning into house washing as opposed to, we're doing a lot less concrete and roofs. So we know we need to take advantage of some other services. A couple other metrics we want to add in here. Mike, I'm glad you mentioned customer lifetime value because I want to add that in. We want to add in so that way we know how valuable each customer is to our business, as well as tips. So if you guys are not currently using Quote IQ, within Quote IQ, the customer has the option to leave tips. We actually did a recent live on that. And Mike's company does like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of tips every month. So we want to have that in here just to show people and incentivize, obviously getting tips. And then the other one was, like Mike mentioned, the average ticket price per service. So we're going to be adding in a few other metrics in here that you guys can use to monitor your business. If you guys have any more for us, though, leave them down in the comment section below or let us know in the chat so that way we can get those added in. But like I said, try Quote IQ for $1. I mean, this is literally going to help you run your business and be more efficient with your business. You can see how many leads you have coming in every month, where those leads are coming from, what services you're offering. There's just so much here for you to keep track of your business.
And let me say one more thing about that last screen. Okay.
Yep.
The dashboard analytics, it is the pulse, it is the lifeline of your business. These are the numbers that are going to tell you whether you're successful or you're losing your ass in your business. Okay. In the free version of Quote IQ, you do not have access to the dashboard. That's how valuable it is. You have to pay to play. When you download the free version, you have you can send estimates, invoices, quotes. The calculators are in there for free. All the mixing calculators, all kinds of business analytic tools that will help you kind of drill down and figure out what is important and what you need to be charging. The national averages for every service industry there is out there. Tons of free stuff, right? The review multiplier is free. The dashboard analytics isn't. So when you download the free version, please, for the love of the Almighty, dear Lord, please, when these guys download the free version, ask them not to send me a message saying, my app is broken. It's blurry. It's blurry because you didn't pay. So if you want it, add it on. You can add it on for like $9. Still get the free version. Add on the dashboard analytics. Probably the best $10 you'll ever spend in your entire life for your business. That's it. You can move on, Justin. Thank you.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Quote IQ ads.
Thank you, Lord.
What, Mike? You got something else you want to say?
I was saying, thank you, Lord. Amen. I didn't close out the prayer.
All right, sweet. We also have Quote IQ ads if you guys need an ad for your business. If you want to learn how I made $13,000 with one video ad strategy that you can copy, you can check out this page. And of course, you guys know we have the resource page, pwcourse.com, where we have all of our trainings on there. With that being said, we can go ahead and jump into the topic of today's video. I want to shout out a couple more comments. I got the lifetime deal yesterday, American Pro Wash. The lifetime deal is great. Like I said, if you guys are interested, we want to do something different with Quote IQ. We're not like all these other companies. Do you think Robber would ever give you a lifetime deal? Absolutely not.
They will now.
Well,
and thanks for watching, all of you folks at Jobber.
They will not. Well, yeah, I don't.
Robber.
Anyway, we're gonna keep it pushing. Okay, do you guys take user feedback and put those into feature requests? Absolutely.
Aaron, listen, friend. If you've watched the evolution of the app is directly correlated to the feedback that we get, the ideas that we get. Just like, probably in this video, we'll get 2 or 3 great ideas from folks that are watching and have suggestions. We take that, we implement that. And that is what makes Quote IQ different than every other app out there. We don't have all the bullshit red tape corporate boards and these tight shirted ties and nerds that don't know anything about what goes on the ground in a service business. They're up in a boardroom looking out the window at the guys that are actually doing the work. Fuck those guys. And yes, we take your feedback and we make the app better. That's why it's better than everything else out there. And it's significantly less expensive than everything else out there. You look at what you get versus what you pay, and you should just send me a message and say, hey man, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. He wants to know if we have a public feature board. Yes. We have a Facebook group. It's Quote IQ Facebook group. So just look it up and you can just jump right in there.
Yeah.
The thing about the features that we add in, you guys, we add in the features. We do take feature requests from people. However, if it's one person that has a feature request, we don't add it in. What we do is with the builds of everything that we do, we prioritize the largest amount of people possible. So whatever is going to benefit the most users is what we prioritize first and foremost, and then we just go down the list from there. So if you offer us something that like is only for you and only specific to your business, we will probably not build it in. But if it's something we feel like can help every single person, absolutely, we're going to add it in there.
Right.
Okay. LTV graph per customer, maybe not a graph, but in the customer profile. I think on the home screen, what we'll do is we'll do an average of LTV for every customer. So you can know what the average lifetime value is. And we probably could do it for every customer because we're going to have to pull in that data as well. So yeah, we could probably do that as well. LTV for each individual customer under their profile. That's one of the beautiful things that I love about Quote IQ is underneath the profile, there's so much stuff there. Like you can see all previous estimates, all previous invoices, all previous inspection forms. You got notes in there. You can blacklist customers. Like we're just going to continue to build that out. So that way you're keeping all of this data on these customers because I think it's the best way to do it. We have a question here, Mike. Chandler's got an X-Jet. He's about to finish up his first commercial contract. But he's carrying around a 5-gallon bucket and he's refilling it. What can I do to be more efficient on a budget? I can't afford a super nice soft wash setup right now. Thoughts?
Okay. And
Can you
this is
imagine doing
going
a
to sound,
commercial roof with a 5-gallon X-Jet bucket? I don't even
that
think
would
you
be
can get
very
the mix
difficult.
hot enough to clean a roof, though.
Yeah. So probably what I would do is I would go down to Harbor Freight, somewhere like that, and get one of those pull behind wagons, right? Probably really cheap, something where you could either get, like a 25 or a 30-gallon container or a couple fives, right? You could fit at least 3 5-gallon buckets, and then you just be dropping. Um, and this is one of the main reasons why I have never been a huge fan of the X Jet, because of that 5-gallon bucket, because of the opportunity for spillage, because, now, what's going to happen. Chandler his left arm is going to be so swole up from carrying that 5-gallon bucket. And then he's going to look all lopsided, probably walking sideways. So I would do something to eliminate the stress because that's probably, it's just not as efficient. If you just finish this big job, right? Know what I would do? I would take some of the money from that and I would invest in a soft wash setup. And you don't have to go super nice, right? Yes, you could go and you could buy, the top of the line skid and all that stuff. You don't need to. You can go get an 8-gallon or a 7.5, 7.755, whatever they are, soft wash pump, a Remco pump. Get them online, get them at Amazon, get it from a local distributor, and just plumb it up, right? It's not a tremendous expense, but it's going to be a lot more efficient than what you're currently doing. And it's going to be a lot easier on your body too.
The other thing is you want to make sure you're reinvesting. I don't want to see Chandler. I don't want to see you be in budget land forever. So it's like, yes, I completely agree with Mike. Take the first job, take the first 5 jobs, and then throw that back into the business. It's like, how successful do you want to be? Because at the end of the day, if you're doing commercial roof washing, you're going to be making good money. You need to reinvest that money in order to, continue to grow your business. Because at the end of the day, dude, 5-gallon buckets, like how much is your time worth at that point? You know what I mean? So you can stay in budget land forever, but that's kind of like another way of having 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I would take the first 5 jobs and then reinvest it back into the business, get proper equipment. You don't have to get top of the line, like Mike said, but just get something that can get the job done. So, perfect. He has 6 5-gallon buckets. Oh my gosh, Chandler. Dude, throw the buckets away and figure out a better setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. All right, so we're gonna jump into this. Let's jump into it. So the biggest thing to keep in mind with regards to upsells, right, is we want to prioritize highest ticket as well as least amount of work. So it's kind of like a scale, right? What's the highest ticket price that we can get for the least amount of effort possible? And roof washing is something that lends itself to, being really good. Unless you're doing what Chandler's doing here and washing roofs with 5-gallon buckets, which, I would highly not recommend. So, Mike, roof washing is your favorite upsell. You want to talk a little bit about it, some of the aspects of it?
Yeah, roof washing. So roof washing is pretty interesting because a lot of people still to this day, obviously, when you're in the exterior cleaning business, you're very aware of roof cleaning and the profit margins, and that it's relatively easy if you're equipped properly. And with that being said, most customers still don't even know that roof washing is a thing. So it's our job as business owners to educate the public, make it known, right? And that's why I was saying earlier, I spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money educating customers through my marketing, through my advertising. And so, roof washing, like I said, a lot of people don't even realize that they can remove those ugly black streaks from their home. Now, that's a regional thing. I know, I just had Spencer Clays on, who he deals with moss and all kinds of crazy things. It's a completely different process. So for you Pacific Northwest guys, folks up in the Northeast where you do have a lot of moss, different process, but it's still the same thing. Maybe a little bit more intense, labor intensive for you guys, but it is what it is. So roof washing, highly profitable. You've got to have a dedicated pump to do roof washing, whether it's an electric pump, a gas pump, an air diaphragm pump, something that allows you to put a significant mix, a hot enough mix on the roof to do the job. When you're dealing with an XJet, I've heard guys say, well, I can do it with a downstreamer. You can do anything with anything. I could do it, drinking bleach and peeing on the roof, but it's going to take a really, really long time and probably not the most, healthy thing for me to do. Be as efficient as you can so you can get in and out, because time is very important. And so having the right equipment allows you to, do the job efficiently, effectively, and very profitably. Yes, there are going to be some upfront costs. You are going to have to buy the equipment to do that. But one roof job, right? Our average ticket price for roof jobs is like, I think it's $750. Okay. Our minimum price for any roof job is $550. We will not go to any house, no matter how big it is, for less than $550 for a roof job, because it is a very specific service that we're offering that requires a specific set of knowledge, specific set of tools. People aren't going to go to Home Depot and say, oh, I'm going to wash my roof this weekend, because you just can't get the stuff that you need. I guess you can, but people don't know. So understanding the value that you're providing, that this is something that people want done, when they understand that it's something that they can have done. And then it's something that they realize they're not going to be able to do themselves, right? Most homeowners are not. Most homeowners could go rent a pressure washer, buy a little pressure washer, and spend weekend after weekend cleaning their driveway, cleaning their, their house, whatever the case is. Not so much with a roof. And that's why it's such a great service. If you can get your market to understand, that it's feasible, that it's something you do, and then you just got to get out there and sell. So that's why I love roof washing.
Roof washing is really good. If you have really good before and after pics as well, it helps that sales process. We're going to have something coming out here soon. We're running a test currently. I'm not even gonna spread too much light on it. So just know that something good is coming up, and we'll be sharing it with you guys whenever we have our results back. We're always testing things, and that's a beautiful thing. We highly advise you guys to test things out as well, because that's when you figure out what works best and what makes you money.
And I'm the guinea pig. I always do the testing, and then if it's a complete failure, then that's my dollars wasted and time wasted.
I don't know about all that, Mike. Okay, so let's so roof washing was number one. Obviously, highest ticket to least amount of work is what we always kind of want to weigh out. Now, David said, can you please give advice on pricing for beginners? The gun whore says that we have several videos on pricing, and Quote IQ has a section in the app, in the resources of the app, that suggests industry standards. So the gun whore, I want to thank you for that message. That was really great. But let's jump in here. I want to show you something real quick. So I'm going to give you the quickest how to price jobs for pressure washing right here. You can price everything based on the square footage. If you use an app like Quote IQ, you can use the map measure tool, which allows you to easily and quickly measure properties, and I can literally quote a property in seconds. So rule of thumb for you is going to be, I would say, probably about 15 cents on a house wash based on the square footage total, 20 cents on a roof wash, and then probably 13 cents on a driveway. And this is what you do. You quote it based on those prices, and then you take your close ratio. So if you're closing 20%, okay, we're charging too much. Let's lower our, our measurement pricing. And if you're closing 80%, then okay, well, we're leaving money on the table. We need to raise up our pricing. So just in about like a minute there, I just gave you everything you're going to need. But if you want to jump into the resources tab in Quote IQ, you can actually check out our industry standards for pricing, and that'll help you out as well. But I just wanted to go ahead and show off that feature, because that was one of the reasons we built Quote IQ, was because of how seamless it is, how easy it is. Yeah,
Well,
look.
and it's completely vertically integrated as well, right? And that's one of the we've got tons of features. We've got tons of features that no other CRM out there has, right? But what we've done is we vertically integrated every key um, piece of software that you need to run your business. And when I talk about vertical integration, what I'm talking about is with Map Measure Pro. Okay, you saw what Justin just did. He got in there, say he's generating an estimate. He goes in, he's like, okay, I'm going to do a house wash. He goes over it, opens it up. It shows all of his pricing. He clicks on the map measurement, icon. It pops open the map. He can then go and he can measure out absolutely everything. What our app does that Google Maps and any other mapping feature, there are lots of other features out, other ways to measure, but nothing's vertically integrated. So what happens is all of your preset information, all of your pricing per service that's in the pricing matrix basically talks to the map. And when you measure out a house, it's going to do all the calculations and it's going to generate that estimate like that. So it's ready to send to your customers. There's no calculators. There's no fumbling with your phone. There's no fumbling with multiple apps to make all of this work. Complete vertical integration, which is what makes Quote IQ something very special.
Right. We have some other really cool stuff coming here soon. I can't wait to share with you guys. It's going to be even cooler. Wash Time says, Map Measure is freaking awesome. We appreciate that, Wash Time. Biggest thing I learned from Mike, reinvest and also invest in myself in business. Absolutely. Because that'll pay dividends when you invest in yourself. Another thing to keep in mind, I'm going to pick on Chandler one more time here. Chandler said that he was doing a commercial roof and he was washing it with buckets. Not only is that hard on himself, hard on, to finish the job, but also he's doing it for a real estate and property manager. If a real estate and property manager saw you out there like juggling buckets, trying to figure out how to clean this roof, like, are they going to be like, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. He's a super professional. We're going to have him do all the properties. Probably not. I'm not saying that you blew it with them by any means. I'm just saying you got to be, concerned with how you appear outwardly to the people that you're servicing. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
I agree to some extent, but not necessarily in this scenario, simply because what I was just saying, where most people have no clue what the process is, right? And so maybe they're looking at, Chandler and they're like, okay, at least he's not pressure washing because I know you don't want to pressure wash a roof. B, he's got some crazy contraption that's spraying and it's got a tube and he's got these buckets. So maybe not maybe he knows what he's doing. It's working. They don't know it's not as efficient. Like we know it's not as efficient. Chandler knows, he said it himself. He knows it's not the most efficient, but again, this is all about that reinvestment, right? Get these jobs, stack these jobs, impress with the end results, collect those reviews, get those referrals, make those connections, form those relationships that are going to serve you forever and ever. And when you do that, right, you're making money, obviously. Then you need to take a portion of that, set it aside so you can reinvest it in better, stuff, whether that's the equipment, whether that's a wrap for your truck, whether it's more marketing, whatever the case is. You got to be smart with your business. And I know he is. And so, again, it's these are all things that, when you're starting a business, we don't always, nobody, with very few exceptions, has everything that you need, whether it's the knowledge or the equipment to get out there and compete with somebody that's been in it 10, 15, 20 years, or even 2 years. And so that's why it's so important to invest in your education, invest in yourself, put aside money as you make more to reinvest, right? These are all the things that are going to make you so much more successful, so much faster. And I know that you guys probably get tired of me talking about that all the time, but the reason
Definitely
that I
tired.
do, and the reason what?
Definitely tired of you talking, Mike.
I know. And it's just like your face. I get so tired of looking at it all of the time. And then I close my eyes and
You gotta
so I
stop
don't.
watching my videos, Mike. I told you that. You gotta quit having my videos on replay all the
I've
time.
actually never watched a single one of your videos. They're terrible.
That's a lie. That is a complete lie. Okay, so let's keep going. So ranking pressure washing upsells best to worst. We'll kind of speed it up here because I know we're taking some time here. But first one is roof washing, right? Number one, we got to weigh out ticket price versus amount of work. The next one is going to be specialty stain removal, Mike. And not that these come along all the time, but sometimes when they do, you can make a ton of money with them. The first one I'll talk a little bit about is rust. How easy is it to do rust stain removal? It's high ticket. It's a specialty chemical that your customers don't know about, and you can make a lot of money in a short period of time. So
you can make a shit ton of money in a, okay, I don't know if I'll be able to get this on. I'm always so bad at this. Okay.
just go
You
really
guys can
close
get
to it, and then
really
go as
close.
close as you can, and then back up a little bit until it. Yep.
Okay. Boom. Look at you, Justin. You are good for something. Okay.
Thanks, man.
This is rust at an apartment complex. Okay. So we got a call about 2 weeks ago, and no, it was longer than that. About 2 months ago, it was 3 apartment buildings. All they wanted was brand new apartments. Like maybe 4 people had moved in. They've got a leasing office and just a few people, brand new. Wanted us to come in and clean the breezeways. I made a video about it. Just rinse down all the breezeways. So I gave them a price. There was 2 breezeways in each of the 2 big buildings and 1 breezeway in the middle of the third building. And I gave them a price of like, I think $4,800. I can't remember exactly what it is. I built rapport with the property manager. Like I talked them through some of the other things that they probably needed to do. And I followed up with them, which is key. If you're not following up, then you're leaving money on the table and you're not doing your job as a business owner. But I follow up with him and he's like, oh yeah, we went with somebody else. And I was like, oh wow. Like my feelings were hurt a little. Cause I was like, I thought we had a good thing. And he's like, dude, they were so much cheaper than you. I was like, how much? And he was like $650. I was like, per building? And no, for everything. And I was like, okay, win some, lose some. That guy's losing his ass, on him, not me, whatever. So about a week ago, I got a call from my answering service, or a message from the answering service. And it said that this property, and I was like, oh shit, I know this property, different name. They want pressure washing estimate. So I called the guy and I'm like, hey, is this so-and-so? And he's like, yeah, we've got a bunch of construction landscape debris. We need to get cleaned ASAP. And I was like, okay, who would we be working for? Is it going to be the company that gets the 3 bids and goes with the cheapest? And he's like, it's actually the landscape company has to pay for it, and they need it done in order for them to get paid. It's on the checklist. And so they need to get all the red clay moved, lots of stuff. So I give them a price, $6,800, right? And it was just for some courtyards and whatever. I went up there and I took a look. They accept it. We're up there on Monday starting the job. The owners of the property are there, 2 guys from Atlanta. They come out and I start talking with them. And, I said, hey, appreciate it. We were going to do the interior of the breezeways. We got underbid. He's like, yeah, that guy's no longer with us that made that decision, and not because of my company or anything. He's just no longer with the company. But they're glad that we were out there. The guys were out there getting it done. We were throwing down some Mud Mayday, which is a product that does a great job in removing red clay, and sprayed all that down, doing all the sidewalk cleaning. And then as I'm talking to the guys, I was like, have you noticed all of the rust stains? I said, that is not part of the scope of work that I quoted. That's coming from the concrete. It looks terrible. And, we're going to make everything else look great. Have you guys considered having that done? And they're like, hey, give us a quote for rust removal. I said, absolutely. And I was like, also the perimeter of the parking lot and the asphalt, there's tons of dirt and nastiness. That's also not something that was included in our estimate. Is that anything that you guys would want to be interested in as, either? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Then they said, how much would it cost just to spray, wash down, no chemicals, just rinse down all 3 buildings, just the outside of the buildings? And I said, I'll get you a price. So I sat in my car because it's like 99 degrees. Get on my phone. I, generate the estimate through Quote IQ. I send it to the property manager guy who then was with the 2 owners. And I said, hey, I'm still on property if you guys want to talk about it. And they're like, yeah, come up to the office, or the leasing office. So I go up there and they're like, yeah, what do we need to do to make this happen? I was like, just accept the estimate and we'll move forward. So it went from like a $6,800 job. And I think at the end of all of it, it's going to be about 14,500 and some change. And that's just from being aware and being confident enough in your service and your abilities to offer these upsells, the rust removal, right? And then the other stuff was just, it wasn't luck by any means, but it was being persistent, being confident in yourself, and showing these guys that, you're the professional, what's going on. You're making suggestions to them, and They accepted it. They're going to write us a big check, and we finished that job in like 5 days. So pretty awesome.
Wow, Mike, that was a long story. Can you tell us about rust removal now?
Listen, I'm going to go ahead. Well, the point of the story, Justin, if you
No,
were
I
not
get it. I
paying
get it.
attention,
Always be looking for upsells. What we're talking about in this video is particularly related to residential. Maybe we should have specified that with the title. But rust is easy to remove, though. Wouldn't you say so, Mike? Like we've had
oh,
videos of
it's,
you on the channel doing
dude,
sidewalks.
melts away in a matter of seconds. Now, the stuff that we were using is expensive, right? The chemical is expensive, but it works so like you literally mix it. We were just using pump up sprayers. You mix it, and I think it was like a quarter to whatever. You mix it up, you spray it down, and the shit just disappears. Right? It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And it's the before and after results. That alone sells the product, right? When you have got pictures of rust stains and then no rust stains, and present those to people that have rust stain issues, right? It makes it a hell of a lot easier to sell. And again, it's something that people don't understand. There is a solution for. I've got a neighbor right across the street, and he puts fertilizer on his grass all the time. The iron in the fertilizer, the iron in the soil. He waters crazy, and so his sidewalks are completely orange with rust. And so I had some extra F9 bark that we were using to clean all the rust. And I went over there and I wrote his name. His name's Jim in his sidewalk, just because I thought it was funny, and I wanted to see how quickly it would turn from rust to Jim. And then I've left it there. And I went by the other day. I was like, hey man, your sidewalk looks terrible. And he goes, was that you that put my name in there? And I was like, it was. I was like, if you want me to remove the rest, it's going to be like $250. So
Dang, it just did a test spot for him.
yeah, I just did a test spot. No, I actually feel horrible. In fact, today Mac got done and he was going to L&H to fill up on bleach and he's like, do you need anything else? And see, that's another great thing, right? Thinking ahead, do you need anything else? Do we need anything for next week? Do we need O-rings, connection, whatever? But that's neither here nor there. But I said, yeah, can you please pick up 2 bottles of F9 bark so we can, because I need to go and I need this spray down Jim's sidewalk on me because I was a dick and I wrote his name in his own sidewalk. But it's funny.
It's funny. Hey, but look, you can make a lot of money. So number 1 is roof washing. Number 2 is graffiti. We're 32 minutes into this, and you guys
graffiti. We haven't even talked about graffiti. This guy doesn't even.
Number 2 is rust removal. Number 3
is
is graffiti. Okay. Number 1 is roof washing. Number 2 is rust removal. Number 3 is graffiti. Now, let's talk a little bit about graffiti. Graffiti isn't something typically that you get called out for on a residential job, but graffiti is still an excellent upsell in the event that maybe I shouldn't have added this one in. This is more of a commercial.
This is a horrible one, Justin, but can I speak on it? Because and I'm kidding. Graffiti is a great thing. But like Justin said, graffiti is not something that you're going to see and hear about all the time, right? You're not going to get calls weekly about graffiti. But when somebody has a graffiti issue, guess who's going to get the call? The guy that understands that graffiti is an issue, the guy that understands that he needs to spend a little bit of time on his SEO, on his Google business profile, populating with different things that you can do to get the, when people go graffiti removal near me, guess who pops up? The guy that's done the work. So this is a prime example of specialty work that you have to put in additional work before to actually get the calls to do the high dollar graffiti removal.
Right. My neighbor actually has like a monster wash business down here, and he actually has the contract with the city of New Orleans. And all he does is they line up all the graffitis, and he just has a truck that runs every day and just hits graffiti, and then they pay them out, I think, monthly. It's a huge contract, but essentially, like a whole portion of his business is just based around them going remove graffiti in New Orleans, which is a pretty cool thing. So graffiti removal is a great upsell as far as the time that it takes. It's relatively quick, as well as anybody that wants graffiti removed needs to have it removed pretty much immediately because it's a terrible eyesore. So graffiti lends itself to charging exorbitant prices for things that take a little bit less time because obviously you have the know-how and the customer's in a little bit of a dire situation because they need to get that removed. So roof washing, rust removal, graffiti removal. Let's get into the next ones. The next ones are going to get a little bit more, kind of your standard upsells, right? If you get called out for a roof wash, obviously we want to try to wash the house as well if we can. So house washing is going to be the next one. In any circumstance where you're not doing a house wash, it's always good to try to upsell into one. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Always.
Okay, so house washing is going to be our next one. Anything we want to mention with regards to house and driveway cleaning? So you got your big three, right? You got your house wash, roof wash, driveway cleaning. In any instance where you're not servicing one of the three, you really need to provide a quote on it. That's something that we do all the time. Somebody will message us and say, hey, we want to get a house wash quote. Awesome. Here's a quote to wash the house. Here's a quote to wash the driveway. Here's a quote to wash the roof. If you decide to, package them, we'll give you a discount. There's a lot of things you can do with regards to that. But I think incentivizing people to get more for less is always a good way to go to. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay, sweet. So we want to focus on the big three on a lot of these jobs, and that's driveway, roof wash, house wash. Now, within the hierarchy of good upsells, that's where we're at. Okay, the next one is going to be something that takes a little bit more time, but you can still make good money with, and that is going to be I'm going to actually place gutter cleaning above this one. What do you think about gutter cleaning, Mike, as an upsell service?
I think it's a great service. I wish I knew. I wish I could see the list because, in my opinion, there's another
Okay,
one.
gutter versus wood cleaning.
Okay, can I add a third?
Well, I mean, I have the list here. So yeah, what would you like to add in?
I would say, in my opinion, window cleaning
Okay,
next,
because window's on the list. Okay, so you would put window above gutter,
and then
and
wood. Yeah. Although it just really depends. And again, this is why it's so important, like to be very aware of who the customers are, where they live. You can go in person and look at these properties, and then you know exactly what the upsells can be. You can also do upsells from, satellite imagery and street view. And that's how I do 99.9% of my thing. My quoting is, all online, all virtual, using Quote IQ. But in my opinion, window cleaning is something because pretty much everybody that is getting their house washed, they not pretty much, a very large percentage will be like, are the windows going to come clean too? And I always say the windows are going to become clean. We are going to remove all the mold, the mildew, organics, and any other surface pollutants from the windows, right? Gentle soft wash. They're going to look 100%, 99% better than before. However, they are not going to be spot free like squeegee clean. I always say they're not going to be squeegee clean because everybody knows what a squeegee is. And that's what people associate with window cleaning, even though, and this is why I love window cleaning so much, even though we don't use squeegees, we use water fed poles, which makes it so much faster. My guys can go and do like say a 5,000 square foot house with no screens in probably with setup and breakdown 30 minutes. Okay. I can upcharge, I don't know, $200 just for having exterior window cleanings. And again, it's a perception and value thing, right? People understand if they were to go out there with a mop and a squeegee themselves, a ladder, all these things, it's going to take them forever. Okay. We get out there, water fed pole, pure water system, boom, done super fast, with amazing results. Now, there might be some communication needed with these people because they're like, why aren't you using a squeegee? And the answer is because we have money and we invested in the right equipment so we don't have to bust our asses like you were going to do for the entire weekend. And so, again, the ease of getting the service completed, the quickness of getting the service completed. And again, this is all directly related to having decent equipment. Yes, you can do window cleaning upsells with a squeegee and a mop and a pole, right? There are people that are way more proficient than that than we are with a water fed pole. But at the end of the day, we've got the right tools. You can get the right tools, reinvest. It doesn't have to be, a $3,000 water fed pole setup. You can get a little Unger one stage, a cheap Amazon, water fed pole and be out, $500, $600, you pay for it in 2 jobs, right? That's how I look at everything. You can pay for everything that you own for your business with a couple jobs.
That's a good way to look at it, Mike. So since we're ranking these, I want to put them in tiers, right? So S tier is going to be your roof wash, your specialty stain removals like rust and graffiti. Just the money you can make for the amount of time you have to spend is right there. It's great. Okay. So that's S tier. A tier is going to be your house wash and driveway cleaning. If you haven't already got those on the ticket. And then we're getting into B tier with some of these, right? So you got your window cleaning, gutter cleaning, wood fence cleaning and solar panel cleaning. They're good money to be made. They just have a little bit more of an aggravation with them, or like a little bit more of a time commitment with them. So, Mike, let's talk a little bit more about like with gutter cleaning, right? We got to move the ladder around the house unless we can get on the roof and everything is removable from the roof. With window cleaning, we got to break out the pole. We got to scrub every single window. With the wood, same thing. Pump up sprayer, apply chem. In some cases it's easier if you could just bleach it out. But let's talk about a couple of these other little ones, Mike. Gutter cleaning. What are your thoughts on that one?
Gutter cleaning is a great upsell. It does require a little bit more effort. If there are, again, I quote everything worst case scenario. So I look at the linear footage of the gutters, how many ladder moves, how difficult it is, and you also have to take into consideration where the ladders can go, because, some houses have got crazy architecture and you're not going to be able to get to certain areas safely. We never put our safety behind money, right? There are people that fall off ladders and die because they are trying to make $200 on a gutter cleaning. Not worth it, right? I would rather tell the homeowner, hey, we got 90% of it. I don't feel safe sending my guys up there. I'm sure you understand. I'll knock off a couple bucks. And most of the time, I'll be like, no, don't worry about it. But gutter cleaning is a great add-on service.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, sweet. Gutter cleaning, window cleaning. You got wood, and then you got solar. Solar is very similar to window cleaning. So it's kind of, those are very, kind of the same thing. What's your opinions on wood fence cleaning, Mike, or wood deck cleaning?
Okay, so wood restoration is what we'll call it. Fences, decks. This is something that we have always done. We've not always done it the right way, right? A lot back in the day, we would hit it with our house wash mix or maybe a little bit stronger and let the bleach out the wood. Now, what you're seeing when it's time for the wood to be restored, it's because it's grayed out, weather, sun, it's beating down, it's taking the color out of the tannin in the wood. And so you can bleach it. It's going to do a good job. You hit it with a little bit of light pressure and it's going to be significantly better than it was. One of the proper ways to do it is, and I always butcher this name, metasilicate. Sodium metasilicate, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. You got it.
And there are products you can buy it in the bulk form and you can mix it yourself and you can do a good job. I prefer not to buy it in bulk. I prefer not to mix it ourselves. I prefer to get it pre-made, pour it in a pump up sprayer. You spray it on and it will transform that wood in front of you, right? Then you can just rinse everything off with a very, very light rinse and you have got remarkable results. You can charge a lot of money for this because of the results, because of the value that you're providing, because you are transforming something that looked terrible into something that's going to look brand new and beautiful again. And there is a cost associated with this, right? If it was just hitting it with pressure, then there's no cost other than your time, your labor, some gas, those type of overhead costs. But if you're going to do it right and you're going to get the best results for your customer, you're not going to fuzz up the wood. You're not going to, damage the wood. You're not going to, because you can cause a lot of damage, just like, pressure washing a roof. Invest in the right chemicals. When you invest in the right chemicals, it's going to make your life easier. But a lot of guys will say, well, I don't want to spend money because that costs a lot of money. Well, yeah, and the customer pays for it. You build your price around the costs of providing the service. And if it costs $150 to get enough chemical to do that, increase your price by $275, $300, whatever it is. And you're off to the races. Customer's going to be happy and they're going to call you back next time.
Right. The best part about some of these upsells is charge what you want for them. If you got something in a lower tier that you don't want to do, charge a crazy amount, ask a crazy amount. If they say no, then good. If they say yes, then good. You make more money.
Yeah, that's what we do. On our website, we've got InstaQuote set up. I've got one of the services that customers can choose to get a price on is exterior window cleaning. I do not have interior window cleaning on our InstaQuote on our website because we don't want to provide that service. Okay. It's a pain in the ass. We're not good at it. We're not efficient at it. We're usually dirty. We're not going to want to go into somebody's house and, see, there it is. Exterior window cleaning. And so with all of that being said, we will do interior window cleaning, but we are going to charge the hell out of our customers, right? If we have, great customers with tremendous LTV and these are just good repeat customers. We're going to do the interior window cleaning should they request it. They are going to pay a handsome price, but it's not something that we advertise because we're not good at it. We're not efficient at it. And I would rather spend our time at more profitable services. And again, this all goes back to what? It goes back to understanding your numbers, having a dashboard like we've got in Quote IQ that tells you exactly what you need to know about your business, about the services you're providing. And that way you can make smart decisions on how you want to run your business, what services you want to offer, and what services you want to advertise and market towards, because ultimately those are the things that, again, are going to make your business successful.
Right. If you guys want to try InstaQuote, you can try it out on the website, myquoteIQ.com. It'll be the first link in the comment section description. And if you want to unlock the power of, your dashboard, then try any tier of Quote IQ for $1. One thing about the dashboard is we noticed that a lot of other companies had dashboards, but they were behind like huge price points. And we're just like, this is some vital information that people should have and they need to have within their business. So let's make it available for them for a good price point. And so that's why it comes with the bottom tier. You can have the dashboard for, what you'd have the bottom tier for. So just one of the reasons why Quote IQ gives you more value. Taylor says 7Gs. What's up, Taylor? Vicente has a really good question. I'm going to hold it, though, until we get through the rest of the list. Chris is in the chat. Yo, what's up? Yo in the chat. If you guys want to learn anything about parking lot striping, be sure to check out Chris, the striping guy. He's the man. He's the man on the striping front. Doing a gutter cleaning as you speak. We appreciate it. Jacob's in the house. Let's see if we got anything else. Will this be available for replay? It will absolutely be available. All of our lives are available for replay. So all this free value that you're getting, come on. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up already, hit the thumbs up button for us. What are you waiting for? Okay. I'm going to recap the list again because we're going to get into the next tier. So S tier, roof wash, graffiti removal, rust removal. B tier, house wash, driveway. A tier, house wash, driveway. B tier, window cleaning, gutter cleaning, wood fence cleaning, and solar panel cleaning. Okay, now we're going to get down into, we have a good question. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save questions. Please throw them in the chat. Now we're going to get down into the next tier. And so the next tier is essentially kind of a little bit more annoying and maybe something that we don't want to do. First and foremost is oil stain removal. So with regard to oil stain removal, you always have to set customer expectations, right, Mike? Like, they're going to expect, hey, can you get the oil stain out of the driveway? They're going to expect it to be completely gone. The thing about oil stain removal is it soaks into the pores of the concrete, and there's pretty much no way besides giving them a new driveway to get that oil stain all the way up. So that's why I put this so low in the tier list, because you have to set expectations with the customer up front, and then you have to deliver as good of quality as you can. So it just lends itself to people not being happy with it. Whew. There you go. Somebody wanted that out, Mike?
Yeah, he hit InstaQuote looking for a driveway cleaning. In the notes it said oil stain, so I was like, hey, can you send me a picture? And he did. And I said, yeah, we can do it, but I said our minimum price is $225, and that sucks for him, but that's what it is. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, come out and do it. And so oil stains are something that a lot of people really want up because it so much detracts from the curb appeal of your home, especially if it's on a driveway. This was inside his garage and he wants it gone. And, so I gave him the precursory things that he needs to do in order to help us, get to it, get it up better, which is, sop it all up, put some Dawn detergent on it, scrub it, allow it to soak, just leave the Dawn on there until we can get there. So yeah, oil stains, again, expectations are something that's very important with all any kind of stain removal, because it's like if your wife or significant other has a silk blouse, right? And they spill wine on it, right? Wine is probably not going to come out. You take it to the dry cleaners and you're like, here, dry cleaner, get the stain out. Dry cleaner takes it. They do their best. They return it. And there's still the ghosting of the wine stain. And you're upset. You're let down. Your blouse is not something that you're going to be able to wear anymore. The dry cleaner, what should they have done is said, hey, we're going to do our best. We're still going to charge you. We're going to do everything we can to make this, as minimal as possible. And you have to do that with pretty much every stain type of job, because if you're not setting expectations, you are going to disappoint your customers and they're not going to be happy. So I always the precursor for any kind of rust removal, oil stain removal, oxidation, what's efflorescence, any of that,
Don't try to
calcium.
pull in all my other upsells, Mike. Okay, you got to keep them a little bit of
Well,
a
but
secret, big guy.
and this applies to all of those things, is setting expectations so you don't let your customers down. Because even if you do a phenomenal job and get 99% of that oil stain out, and they're expecting 100% out, that could lead to like a 1-star review because you didn't do what they think that you should do, not what you say that you should do. So,
Right. D-Bone says, I refuse stain jobs. I wasn't confident I could get it cleaned. I felt, what the customer expectations were. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. So he said, so $225 for an oil spill. This is exactly what a customer would think. And it's like, no, that's not really the case. It's $225 for Mike to have an employee, for the employee to drive out there, for the gas to drive out there, for the employee to set up, for the employee to break down, for the employee to clean the spot, and
the
then
insurance
insurance. So it's
for
like,
the time that we're not at another job making significantly more money.
right. So it's not $225 for an oil stain. It's $225 for everything that Mike needs to operate his business in order for it to be profitable. So just so we're clear on that front. So I'm going to group all these other ones because go ahead, Mike.
And in Quote IQ, we built the hourly rate calculator so you can determine based on your business, on your overhead, what you need to charge to break even. And then you can then add on your margin. So then you can set what your pricing is, all based on real numbers, based on your business, not my business, where everybody's different. Every market's different. So this allows you to understand your business and make smart decisions based on your business so you are profitable.
Because a big mistake that a lot of guys make is they only look at that number that we're making. We're not looking at the cost. We're not looking at the time. We're not looking at all these different things that go into running the business. How much taxes go out? Like, are you keeping track of your expenses? How much is your marketing? Like all these different things. So we just try to give you guys all the tools in order to run your business like a legitimate business and not, just something that you're doing on the weekends. So I'm going to group the last ones because they're all stain removals. They're, red clay stain removal, oxidation removal, efflorescence removal, oil stain removal, all things that you're going to set expectations with the customer. You are going to have to collect a handsome fee for those because those are specialty chemicals. So not only does the service provider have to be able to recognize those, he then needs to know what product to use in order to clean them, as well as set expectations with the customer as to the end result of, that product. So even like with oxidation, it just lends itself to maybe you couldn't get it as clean as what the customer had expected. And then we have a discrepancy between the customer's expectations and, what we've told them we would accomplish. So all of these different little stain removals are good upsells. However, they don't lend themselves to making a ton of money very quickly, or, at least you give yourself the liability of the customer. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay, sweet. So that was our tier list: roof wash, graffiti, rust, S tier. Those are great ones. Great ways to make a lot of money with a little bit of work. Underneath that, we have our house wash and driveway cleaning. Also great ways if, we're quoting anything on the property, we really want to make sure we quote the trifecta. And then below that, we have our window cleaning, gutter cleaning, wood fence cleaning, as well as solar panel cleaning. A little bit more effort it's going to take, and these are a little bit more lower ticket services, so they're a little bit more annoying. And then lastly, we have our stains: oil stain, red clay, oxidation, efflorescence, things that we need to set expectations with the customer. We need to charge handsomely, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult. So Mike, anything we missed with regards to upsells?
No, but for anybody that wasn't here at the beginning, I will say, understand what your most profitable services are and then market and advertise for those specific services, right? Those are going to be the ones that you want to upsell, the ones that make you the most money. So
Absolutely. You should be trying to, raise your average ticket price for each customer as high as you can get it. And if you're somebody that can only get 5 customers, then add on other services that are outside of washing. I would say landscaping or weed removal or shrub trimming, or those are all landscaping services. But if you need help getting customers, you guys can check out the Local Domination 2 course. It's literally the guide to how we land monster jobs, and we keep our schedule full year round. I'll have that linked up in the comment section and the description, as well as Quote IQ ads. So if you guys need, an ad for Facebook or something to kind of drum up some business, check that out as well.
hey, real quick, look,
Yep.
scroll down to the videos. We just added Christmas lights, wood restoration, and interior painting. 3 new ones, 3 new videos that were just added last week. So those are awesome. But Justin,
Yep.
I put out a video last week and you made fun of me. because it was Christmas lights, right? I was
That
talking
doesn't sound
about,
like me, Mike, making fun of you for something.
yeah, yeah, you were making fun of me. But
Okay.
I put out a video about Christmas lights, and you were like, It's July. Why are you talking about Christmas lights now?" And the fact of the matter is, Christmas lights, yes, it's July, but guess what's coming up very, very quickly? Christmas, the season, right? And for Christmas lights, they go up like right after Thanksgiving. In some cases, before Thanksgiving, depending on how busy the schedule is, right? For whoever is doing the installation. Now, Christmas lighting is one of these winter killers, right? Everybody talks about that they slow down in the winter. They don't have enough jobs. They don't know what they're going to do. Add Christmas lighting to your repertoire. It will create a tremendous boost at the end of the year when traditionally you aren't making as much money, and it's going to carry you into the first quarter of the next year. And so take advantage of these additional services like Christmas lighting specifically. And if you need to learn how to do it, if you need to learn what equipment that you need, the lights, the clips, everything, how to cut everything and wire everything, we put together the Christmas light boot camp. It's on that pwcourse.com. If you use promo code USA, you can get 50% off of that and everything else today only. If you want to get that, and prepare now, because you're going to have to start advertising and marketing very, very soon in order to get your business, your new Christmas lighting business, in front of those people. So get on it now, and you'll be set for the rest of the year.
Boom. Okay, sweet. I want to answer some questions now since we've made it all the way through. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below or in the chat. First question I want to answer is Vicente. But Vicente says, guys, what would you spend 10K on as a new business owner? I would like to buy a rig I won't outgrow for the next 3 years. I'm almost ready to finance a Landa hot water trailer. Please help. Mike, you want to go first?
Okay. I would be very, very careful of who you're buying the land from, the financing that they're offering, because I've seen some of these finance companies, and the interest rates that they're charging is absolutely insane. And also read all the fine print, because if there is a lapse in payment, if something goes wrong, they will come and they will repo your stuff, and you're not going to have anything. So I am a firm believer, and I know that you've got 10K, and 10K is a good amount of money to start a business, right? A pressure washing business. There is a very low entry to get into this business, just like a lot of other businesses. You don't necessarily need to spend the 10K and get the top of the line stuff. My personal opinion is find a trailer, spend a couple grand on a 8 gallon per minute machine, and I think you can probably get one for like $4,000 maybe at the most. It might be less, and you don't even have to go 8. Get a 5, somewhere around there. Get a tank, get the bare necessities. That's what I would do, and then take a significant portion of remaining money and put it towards your marketing, because it doesn't matter what equipment you have if you don't have customers. And if you don't have customers, you're not making money and you can't reinvest. So, that's just my opinion.
I'm in the
Financing
same
through the bank
spot
was
with you,
approved
Mike.
10 land.
What?
Financing through the bank was approved for 10. Land dealer wants 16,200. What's
Okay.
your okay?
Here's a big mistake that a lot of guys get themselves into. Do not get over your head with financing before you have a legitimate business plan. What I would do is I would take that $10,000. I would say, okay, 5,000 is going into my first equipment setup. I know you said that you want to be prepared for 3 years. It's like, we don't need to be thinking 3 years out. We need to be thinking 3 months out. So let's get something that we could at least get started with that's sufficient to get jobs done. And let's take the other half of that budget and throw it into marketing. Throw it into a course like the Local Domination 2 course, where we teach all of our biggest secrets for how to get jobs, and literally dial in. Focus first and foremost on getting that initial customer base under your belt, because if you go immediately like $20,000 in debt and you don't even know if you can get customers, you don't even know if you have a viable business, you don't know what to charge, you don't know workflows, you're just going to set yourself up, in my personal opinion, to be let down. I would much rather see you spend $5,000 on that first setup and then test it out first. Make sure that you can get all the customers, and then all you do is sell that off, reinvest into a bigger one. At least you would have the foundation of your business in place. But
Yeah.
this is my opinion.
do your market research, understand, and we don't know where you're at, right? If you're in South Florida, it might take a while to make that back because there is a large percentage of washing companies out there. Some have been established longer, and they're going to have a bigger footprint, and they're going to have more customers, and you're going to have to fight for it. Do your market research, understand that just because you want to start a business doesn't mean that business is going to take off immediately, right? A lot of people, they go in full bore, which is great. Like, I hate when people, oh, I need to start up my LLC, and I need to do this and I need to do that. You're already, going down the right path by investigating the different options that are out there. I would also caution people to, take a look at Facebook Marketplace and look at all of these $25,000 trailers that are on there, because, these guys got sold on, the idea of getting the biggest, greatest stuff first. And then they're like, shit, now my monthly payment is whatever it is. I don't even know. And then, I'm struggling to pay that. I'm struggling to, eat and pay my bills and pay my rent or my mortgage, my car note, like all of these things. So I would very much encourage you to, like Justin said, don't worry about 3 years out. Let's worry about that first year, right? And make sure this is viable for you in your market. Get what's enough to get you out there, get you started, and start making money. And just like we were talking about earlier, once you start making that money, set some aside to reinvest in the equipment. Yeah, nobody wants to go and, have to, buy a brand new something or other. That would be the case if you bought a 2.5 gallon per minute machine. That's not the guy who you are. Go buy a 5.5, right? Get started with that and then add on, right? That's how I would suggest you do it. Don't be, bank poor.
I think the biggest cheat code that you can give yourself is not having any expectations to how much money you want to make within the first time period, right? I think too many guys are like, they want to completely skip side hustle and go and say, I'm going full time. I'm going to spend $20,000 on a rig. I'm full time. You don't even have a foundation. You don't have customers. You don't have an email list. You don't have anything that you need in order to be successful. So let's focus on that first 3 months, getting the equipment that we need, spending the right money into marketing, and then not worrying about making a dollar back, just reinvesting into the business until we get an actual substantial business going. That's what me and Mike did with Quote IQ. It's not like we put out Quote IQ and said, oh man, we're going to turn a profit immediately. We invested into Quote IQ for probably 2 years before we even saw anything back. And it was just like a continual investment, because the longer that you can delay that pull out of money, the stronger that you're ultimately going to be. If you immediately say, I'm going to start this business, I'm going to try to go full time, you are just going to screw yourself. So that's one thing I would say. He also said he's concerned because he thinks he needs a hot water setup for oil cleanup. I mean, Mike doesn't even have a hot water setup for oil cleanup. So it's just one of those things. I think a lot of guys will put things in their head and they're not, as big of a deal as they like. You might be thinking, oh man, I guess I can't do any gas stations. We do gas stations. We don't have a hot water setup. Mike does gas stations.
You just need to understand the right chemicals. And again, I think I don't even think I'm guilty of this, because I have never said, if you do this, you will achieve this. All I've ever said is, these are the things that work for me. And if I feel that if you apply these same principles to yourself, and if you hold yourself accountable and you don't go half-ass at anything, then you can achieve pretty much anything that you want to achieve, right? Obviously, we sell stuff, and we're selling the training, like the how to wash course, right? If you're just getting started and you've got a money set aside, I would highly suggest, and it doesn't have to be my course. I would think that it would be the first choice because it's the best, but educate yourself, because you can waste a lot of time early on. And that's time where you could be a lot more profitable if you knew the things that you need to know in order to understand you don't need hot water for oil stain removal, right? We went through oil stain, removal and the chemicals needed and how to mix all these things. The same with the chemicals for wood cleaning and all of these things. Education is absolutely critical. And I think that it's very important to understand who you are and the dedication that you're willing to put in, because if you do anything half-ass, you're going to get half-ass results. And then the only person that you can look at and blame is yourself. And so I highly suggest a hard, long look in the mirror to understand if you're the guy that can have his own business and stick with it, because it's going to take a lot of stick with itness in order to be successful, because this shit is not easy, right? Again, just because you buy a trailer, that don't mean shit. Just because you say, hey, I got an LLC and I'm in business, don't mean shit, right? It's you and what you're willing to do and the sacrifices that you're willing to make that is going to make or break this business. And that's something only you can answer.
Me and Mike put out incredible information on YouTube. Okay, we put out a lot of great stuff, but it doesn't hold a candle to the stuff that we have in the courses. Literally, Vicente could come to us and say, hey, I want to pay you for a 30-minute call. I could give you more than that 30-minute call that's going to move your business forward than anything else. And here's a perfect example of it. Jacob says, get Local Dom 2, well worth the money. I'm picking up an $18,000 check later today from the principles learned from that course. These guys are the real deal. We do not lie to you. Our courses are designed to 10x your return, okay? And with Local Dom, we literally give you the blueprint for all the ways that we land 30, 40, $50,000 jobs, okay? So all that to say, prioritize some money in there for learning, for education, for spending money with people that are actually doing it, actually making big money, because that is going to cut your learning curve so much that you're just going to be able to make money a lot faster. When you say so, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I practice what I preach as well.
We do. Me and Mike have paid for more coaching calls. We've paid for coaching calls with people where it didn't even go anywhere, but we were willing to put in the money in order to see if it would go somewhere. Right, Mike?
Dude, I'm still pissed about that one guy.
We have spent thousands and thousands, but there's no limit. Me and Mike have no limit to where we'll go in order to become the best. We have no limit to what we'll listen to from the people that use our products to become the best. We have no limit to who we pay. If there was a person that we could pay that could make us another 10, 20, 30, 50 grand, like, we'd do it in a heartbeat. And that's what we offer to you guys every single day. So anyway, all that to be said, make sure you put some money in there to spend on education, because it's important. Okay, we have one other question. I think we'll probably wrap from there. I mean, we kind of answered this one. Best advice for beginners, Mike. What would you say for somebody who wants to start their wash
Well,
business?
my little rant just there was
I think that was the best.
understand that it's not easy. Understand that you're the only one that's responsible, and you're the only person that can determine how much effort you're going to put in, how relentless that you're going to be, the commitment level that you're willing to expend on your business. I think that's the best advice. And then, of course, do everything you can to prepare before you get started. And by no means am I saying, suggesting paralysis by analysis. You have to move forward. You have to make strides, and you have to actually get started, but also understand what you need to get started so you can be successful. You got to set yourself up for success. And we've highlighted all of the things that you need to do. And we also both have channels that if you just peruse through these videos that we make, you will have a phenomenal foundation and an understanding of what you need to do in order to be truly successful.
I think my best advice for a beginner is find the quickest way to money for yourself, because that's going to give you confidence. It's going to give you momentum. And at the end of the day, the more momentum you can put behind yourself, the quicker you're going to get this business up and going and up and running. Do not box yourself in. I talk about this all the time. Do not put yourself in a box, because when you say, this is the only way that I can make money, this is the only way I can do it, is by buying the big equipment or doing it this way or that way, you're boxing yourself in. You're already giving yourself limitations. You just started your business. Like, literally figure out how you can go out, do a service for somebody and make some money today. What are you laughing about, Mike?
D-Bones, I'm sorry, Mike. I'm the guy who upset you. And then he said, I made a rash comment when I was extremely frustrated. It's not an excuse. It's my fault. After watching the video, I sincerely apologize. I would love to know what comment it was, because I get angry all the time. But dude, tell me what it was, because it might jog my memory. But I appreciate that, man. And I'm the same way. I've got a very short fuse, and it's detrimental in a lot of cases. My reactions sometimes are not appropriate, and they are unfounded. Sometimes they're not. They're just misunderstood, or the whole picture is not there, because some people will say stuff to me and I've heard it from 30 other people, right? When you put yourself out like we do, there's a lot of I don't want to say attention, but a lot of like hate, if you will. And because of that, it's always kind of in the back of my mind, like, where is this person coming from with what they're saying? Because I've heard it from so many other people, and then I react. And so, to all of those watching that I've reacted to in a negative manner, I apologize if it was unfounded. But if not, fuck off. But D Bones, I appreciate you, and I do remember that. That's funny.
Wow, that was beautiful. The CEO says, "Here's a play for you guys. He knows somebody with a van, a water tank, and he does dealerships. Charge $10 per car, 50 cars per day, $500 a day in the winter from them plowing and clearing the lots. The
Yeah.
cars get dirty."
Now, I don't know. I know that there are some folks that do that. I got a couple buddies that have got businesses like this, and they use deionized water in those big tanks. Otherwise, you're going to have spots all over the cars. It's just like the pure water system for window cleaning. Uh, they rinse everything off. Cars look beautiful. It's not a hand wash. It's nothing like that. It's just knocking off the debris from the previous week or whatever. So yeah, that's a great idea.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, don't feel sorry for yourself. Best advice I ever heard. Completely agree. I feel like we've answered this question a bunch of times. We'll do it one more time though. Hey, y'all are awesome for giving us your time. I'm just starting out too, but I'm worried other companies in my area will make it hard to find customers. Should I be worried?
Understanding your competition and your market is critical for any new business, and it's critical for every business. I've been in business for almost 22 years now, and I am still aware of the major players. I don't get bogged down with thinking about my competition. Okay. My focus is on myself, on my business, how we can get better, how we can get our business in front of even more people. Right. And so, yes, your competition is going to try to make it more difficult for you to get customers. And they're not singling you out, but they are doing exactly what I just said. They are trying to get better. They are trying to get their business in front of more people. So as long as you understand that, like, I wouldn't focus on the competition. I would look at the competition. I would read all of their reviews. I would understand what they do good and try to be better. I would look at the 5 or the 1-star reviews, and I would say, okay, what are the things that these guys are dropping the ball? Is it communication? Is it not showing up on time? Is it this? And then you flip those things, because you're going to see a common trend in all negative reviews for home service businesses. And then you take those pain points, the things that people are complaining about, and you make those your strong points. You focus on, hey, we're always there when we say we're going to be there. Hey, we over communicate, so you never have to, have a question about, we do, all of the things, right? Take the negative from those, make them your positives, take their positives and try to get better. That's how I look at competition.
Absolutely. And I would say always focus on your strengths. Okay. So you can't look at somebody like, let's say you're in Mike's, particular area. You couldn't look at Mike as direct competition, because the customer that Mike caters to in services is not your same customer. Mike services large commercial, people with large residential. You can focus on, the smaller aspects of that. There's people that call Mike for a back patio cleaning, for, front patio cleaning, like these little services that Mike's going to tell them no, that he can't service them because it's just too small of a service. So
Right.
in the beginning, focus on what you're best at, right? You might not be the best at marketing. You might not be the best, number one on Google, but what you can do is service within the niches and offer different services in order to get your foot in the door with customers that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So we offer a lot of other advice with regards to how to leverage customers, how to make the most of them, how to keep track of them. That's why we built Quote IQ. So I'd highly recommend checking that as well. And just get going. Stop worrying about other people. Figure out what your strengths are, how you can deliver those strengths, to your customers, and what service you can provide value for in exchange for money. Shane says, bought the How to Wash course. My first job paid for that course. Absolutely. Shane, if you're still with us, let us know. Did the course deliver? Like, did we deliver in that course? In my personal opinion, we over-delivered. Me and Mike shoved so much information into this course. It's absolutely incredible. It's the most concise, most clear.
Yeah. And like, that course is, and I just, the word course bothers me. It's a training program. That's what How to Wash is. It's the How to Wash training program. And it does exactly that. It gives you everything that you need in order to be successful, to understand how to accomplish every aspect of what we do for a residential property. And I continue to add to it. I just added 4 new videos over the past 2 weeks, because it was stuff that we're doing differently now. And I wanted to include that. And when you buy, How to Wash, it's yours forever. You can go back, you can review it. And when I add new stuff, you'll get a little notification. Hey, I want to go see what's going on. Like I just did one on, the red gun and how that works and the benefits of that. I filmed it. I've not put it in on the AR-45 soft wash pump because it's something that we weren't using when we originally did this. We are using it in conjunction with all of the other, soft wash systems and pressure washing systems that we use now. There are things that evolve. Rinsing roofs. I was not a huge proponent of that. My thought process on that has changed as my business has evolved. And so we're continually adding, even though we don't need to, because it's so stout, but the continued knowledge, the continued providing of value to you guys that invest in us is something that I just feel compelled to do because knowledge is power. And I want you guys to have the most powerful businesses out there.
That's right. And if you have superpowers, then you're a superhero. And
Yeah.
there's nothing cooler than that.
Anytime there's like lightning storms, I go outside with an umbrella, and not to stay dry, but because I'm hoping to get hit by lightning, because I feel like I might get superpowers as a result of that. Just like when I see spiders, I like let them bite me. None of it's worked yet. So if anybody has any ideas on this, please let me know in the comments section of this video.
When Mike sees like vats of toxic sludge, he
Yes.
likes to go swimming in them. So,
Yeah, right. That
Yeah.
might make me a supervillain. But
Yikes. I feel
you
like
know.
that's more along the lines of your character, Mike, if I had to
I
take
appreciate that,
myself.
Justin. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, sweet. Mike, what's the word of the day for this video?
Consistency.
Consistency. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below consistency. We'll hashtag your real one. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button already, what are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up button for us. And until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.